Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale. Continuing Radie's route, it has been a roller coaster of, like, angst. Fluff angst, but kind of angsty for a fluffy route. Like, I don't know. Listen. Like, I know people are going to be making fun of me. Like, hi, we're planning to play Verche, like, probably after this one, because I think this one will end first. And it's like, I'm aware that one is going to kill me. Like, that is gonna make me so miserable and sad. But this is the kind of angst that I can deal with. It's like, no, it hurts, but it's fluffy. And I'm like smiling through the whole thing because I know it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? This is the kind of angst I want, where you're like, oh, it hurts, but I'm smiling about it because I know it's going to work out fluffy and cotton candy-like in the end. Oh, God. Anyway, continuing on, he will fall, and I can't wait to find out a secret, because obviously Calyphus could sense something, so this is intriguing. Because honestly, like, what did we expect? Like, we knew, okay, with Zephora, when we found out a secret, okay, we knew the whole plot for him was going to be fighting against Balto and whatever, and Ion, we kind of knew their little secret thing. But, like, Radie's whole thing, you were like, obviously he's been with us since before our parents died. We knew that was going to come out. He wasn't with us as long as I thought he was, but still. But there's something else in there, you know what I mean? And that other little thing now, because we instantly realize we're in love with him a lot sooner than we did in everybody else's route, which I do like, because it makes sense for him. We've been around him for so long, you know? But now there's something else kind of hidden under there that we're gonna find out. And, ooh, okay. Yes. That's why. I mean, you kind of had to know when we confessed our love and he was like, yeah, well, not me, whatever. I don't even think I could love someone. You're like, there's something going on here. There is something in your psyche that is, like, making you think these crazy thoughts, sir. But now we know, like, Calyphus sensing something. There's something else going on, you know? And that's why he said that, but curious. Anyway. On our way to Kalita, everyone took the initiative to speak with Calyphus. Everyone except Relita, that is. He'd been silent ever since his talk with Aleste. Interesting. So I wonder if Aleste knows something about Radie. But then Ginnia does too. I was dying to know what they discussed, but after what happened yesterday, I didn't have the courage to ask. I mean, because again, I don't know if I know they pulled aside, well, with Ion, it was like okay, because Ion could be controlled by the ring thing. You know what I mean? I guess that was the little kind of other secret thing that came out in his, was oh yeah, it's not just that I was a slave, it's I was branded and that ring can control me type of a thing. Vishalia was the I'm dying thing. But I don't think, aside from, like, Ion, they had the whole thing with the prince and, like, everything. Like, oh, we don't think Ion should go with you type of a thing. But I don't think there was ever a point where Aleste pulled Ginnia and, like, Vishalia aside. Because, like, Vishalia's whole thing is just, he's dying. Like, you know what I mean? Or pulled, you know, Zephora aside. Really. There wasn't anything like that. So, Radie's a little, I wouldn't say unique. I guess yes, because they didn't even pull Ion aside. It was more like, Ion can't go with you because he could stab the prince if he's being controlled. Because we don't know where that ring is. And everyone was like, what? That's crazy! Oh, also, everywhere the Ion goes, the prince should go too, because that seems like a smart idea. See, this is why Aleste didn't want him to go, because he knew we were a bunch of idiots. So fair point, Aleste. Poor Zephora can't keep track of all these morons. Someone else has got to run this chicken coop. Okay. But, you know, so Radie is kind of unique in the pulled him aside and now there's a secret around it. So, we finally arrived in Kalita and set up our housing tent. Once that was done, we gathered to discuss our upcoming show. Since this will be Calyphus's debut, I'd like to make him the star of the show. How's that sound?
I'm in favor, and there should be no problems as long as the others help him out. Me? Star of the show?
There's a first time for everything. Be ready for anything and you'll be fine. Let's start practicing right away.
Oh, I have some business to attend to after this. Vilio, Relita, come with me.
Like I said before, I'll only give it a listen, Kay. Relita stood back up, but he was dragging his feet. It is really weird that we switched. I understand they were like, let's call him by his real name, but it's like, it's really weird. It's like he's a different person now. Don't. I just want to call him Rady. I want him to be Rady again. You know what I mean? Huh? What business? Do I really have to go?
I need your help for this one. And that being said, everyone else go show His Highness the ropes while I'm gone.
He's picking out the two Fae. Because, like, Vilio's a dragon, you know? So, like, interesting. He instructed us to give Calivis a tour of the city and set up a tent on the Sage Tower's rooftop. Ginia left with Relita and Vilio after that. Per Ginia's orders, the rest of us went into town. Also, I kind of feel like with us switching and not calling him Rady, it's like we don't have that. Like, I guess what they're trying to do is like, no, that's your real name. We'll call you your real name now that we know who you are because it's your identity. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that and I'm there for that. But it also almost takes away, it's like, we are calling him his full name. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of the nickname, our affectionate nickname. Kind of feels like we're taking a step back. Which, I mean, we are, because, like, he basically pushed us away, so. But that hurts me a little, you know? I'm like, oh. I wonder what they're up to. It must be quite important. Otherwise, he would not entrust us with the prince. Important business, huh? Vilio's a dragon, so I get how he'd be useful. Why Relita, though? Who knows? Just ask him once they're back. I'm sure he'll be open to telling you about it anyway. Oh, right. I'll ask him when I have some time. Yeah, I pasted on a smile, trying to cover up my awkwardness, and everyone else is like, whatever, and Zephora's like, are you fucking in love with him? Because he's not stupid. I can't, well, okay, to be fair, Zephora would be like, you're fucking in love with him, but he'd be like, I'm not even getting involved, and he wouldn't say anything because he doesn't want to get involved. I can't let them know how iffy things are between us. I don't want to worry them, and our priority here is to help Calivis grow. Once I'd cleared my mind, I looked up to see Calivis with his head on a swivel. His eyes sparkled as he took in the main drag. Has anything caught your eye?
Everything? I've never seen anything of this before.
He stood on tiptoe amid the crowd, trying to get a look at some mystic tools. Unfortunately, a tall customer blocked his view. Allow me.
Whoa!
Oh my god, do we get a CG of this? No, I really wanted a CG of fucking Calivis on Ion's shoulders. But that would have been an Ion CG, and like, you're not going to get those here, but like, come on, it would have been so adorable. Like, just holding him on his shoulder. Ion lifted up the boy so he had a clear view of the shops.
Thanks, Ion.
You could just imagine, like, not like legs around his neck, but like just holding him on his shoulder, just one shoulder, carrying this kid around. Like, how fucking adorable. You can picture it. As much as I would like a CG of it, you can imagine it, and it's adorable.
That mystic tool has a strange shape. I wonder what it's for.
That's the latest hairdryer model. It's made from a wind mystic stone and it can make your hair smoother.
Mystic tool to dry hair? Oh, you usually have a servant do it for you, right? There are going to be a lot of things you can do by yourself on this trip. It'll be fun. Not so sure about that. What if he finds them inconvenient and wants to go home? And with Ginny as his roommate, I wouldn't be surprised if he ran away tomorrow. That bitch is the clown. Every time, it's like the salt that pours out of him is just so amazing. No matter how shameless Ginia is, Calivis is a prince. Surely he would not be brash enough to... And bring yourself to say he won't boss around royalty. Ginia absolutely would. You might be a prince, but you're up to my knees, so you'll do what I say. And don't touch my shit, I'll smack you.
After strolling around the city, we entered the Sage Tower and pitched a tent on the roof. Our show tent unfurled in no time, brightening up the place.
Wow! I know I saw this during your Aether show, but it's huge. Are we gonna put on a show this high up? That's so cool!
Let's take a look inside. Harry Potter tent magic going on here. We're just like, and you're like, okay, it's a normal tour. Oh my god, it's a mansion inside!
I'll be standing right here.
Nervous?
Yeah, I feel uneasy. Can I pull it off? I've never entertained anyone before in my life. All I do is cause trouble for... Everything's gonna be alright. Everyone here, including the spirits, will help you if you're struggling. Even then, how will I manage?
We're gonna teach you to think on your feet and act calmly under pressure.
Calmly?
No need to wrap your head around it now. You'll be alright. Your body will eventually remember if you keep practicing.
Okay.
He didn't seem convinced, even with all their advice and encouragement. 3 of them exchanged looks, unsure what to do.
I guess we should ask Relita how he gets into the right headspace before a performance.
Agreed. He's good with kids, too.
Relita gave us a lot of tips when we first performed here.
Our acts began to take shape thanks to all of the things he taught us. The best at making people smile. Could you stop, talking about my boyfriend? Because he's not making me smile right now. Piggybacking off Pashalia, I nodded emphatically. Whenever I'm feeling down, Relita always cheers me up and makes me laugh. He'll teach you loads of stuff.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to learn from him.
After giving Calypus a brief tour of the show tent, we left the Sage Tower. Oh, hey! What a coincidence! We bumped into Vilio on our way out. All done with your tasks? Hey, wait. Did you just come out of the tower? Oh, yeah. It actually had something to do with the Sage Tower. Ginny and Relita are still talking, so they'll be back later. You guys on your way home? I'm not. I have something to do. I would like to go shopping for dinner before I return home.
Do you want to come, Calypus? Let's go to an actual market and buy any food you like. Yeah, sure. How about you? Do you want to come with us?
Shalia kindly extended an invitation. I think I'll just go back to the tent. I still need to come up with an advertising plan. Yeah, me too. I'll only buy whatever I want if I go anyway. You get to choose for today, Calypus.
Okay.
Vilio and I headed back to the tent after parting with the others. However, his face was unusually serious. Puzzled, I raised an eyebrow and endeavored to ask him about it. What's wrong? Huh? Oh, nothing. Hey, your parents worked as researchers here in Kalito, right? Yep. What kind of research? Was it mystic tools, spirits, Phoebes, or... I don't really remember, but they talked about Phoebes a lot. Okay. Ginia took them, so I'm wondering if... Obviously, this is Rady's route, so it probably has something to do with the Phoebes. And remember, like we saw when we came here in the common routes, it's always like we saw Filio or whatever his name was, and it was like, oh my god, they're torturing them and whatnot. It would make sense if it had something to do with that, and that's why Vilio's asking, like the Phoebes being experimented on and something is going to be more of a heavy topic in this one because Rady is a fey creature, you know what I mean? But also, maybe that has something to do with why Calypus is like, he seems odd. There's something else going on here, and it's because of some kind of experimentation or something that was done on him. Not by our parents, necessarily, obviously, but, oh my god, that would be traumatic, wouldn't it? I don't think Rady would take care of us or whatever, or be like, he wouldn't be blaming us for it, but I don't think he'd as... no, your parents and trouble. I did it for them, he'd be more like, good, they're dead. Unless something he did killed them, and then he's like, I just feel guilt! I don't know. I doubt that, though. I don't think our parents were supposed to be like evil people. But we could see the way the people in Kalita were acting in the like common route. So it could have something to do with that. And maybe Aleste and Jinian knows something about Brady, obviously, that we don't, and that's why they talked to him, and then they just dragged Vilio into it because fake creature, so. Babies. Now that I think about it, they also talked about dragons. I tried to recall their conversations. Oh god, I hope our parents aren't evil! They look like such nice people! Unfortunately, my memory was too hazy and disjointed. Where's this coming from, anyhow? I was speaking with some researchers earlier. And then I remembered your parents were researchers too. It would have been nice to chat with them if they were researching dragons. They would have made a huge fuss if they met a real dragon. They'd bombard you with questions. Yeah, I don't know, something sus about this. Cool. Put a pin in that! A night had passed since we arrived in Kalita. As we agreed on yesterday, Relita would be supervising Calivis. Meanwhile, the others would promote the show and practice their individual acts. Relita, Calivis, and I went on stage on top of Sage Tower and brainstormed ideas for our program. Okay, wait a minute. Right? Okay, you know how, like, the cities were all built by, like, super strong, the original, like, spirits, whatever? He's a Fae beast, but, like, what if he's got some kind of, like, super special, like, fucking magic? I mean, obviously the Fae beasts all have, like, magic. Like, Vilio's got, like, fire magic and stuff. But, like, what if his is not, like, so much Fae beasts, more spirity magic? I was just trying to think, like, maybe he's, like, actually one of the great spirits or some shit that we just don't know about. Or maybe the person that had taken him in, like, in the very beginning was actually one of the, like, great spirits, and that's why he didn't tell us anything about this person, and that's what Calivis can sense, that, like, there's something there, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there. There's gotta be some kind of a twist. Anyway, I asked the prince to show off his magic, so let's see if he's as good as I've heard. Wow! A tiny, unassuming seed in his hands sprouted into a majestic tree so tall it almost reached the ceiling. It was simply miraculous. Yet it kept on growing. Oops! The tree's sharp branches surged out and pierced the audience seats.
Sorry, I couldn't control my mana well.
Let's roll this one out for the time being. I can't afford to skewer the crowd.
True.
Relita's frank feedback was like a slap in the face. Like, a slap in the face is basically every fucking part of Rady's route so far. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it, but it is like, we're like, oh yeah, I love you. Yeah, I'm never gonna love anybody. Slap in the face. Like, we're like family. Slap in the face. I'm a stand-in for your slap in the face. Brady just doing a lot of bitch slapping with his words here, isn't he? Oh, I love it.
It ain't your fault your mana's not stable yet. I've just gotta keep practicing. Alright.
Come on, turn that frown upside down. The thing you're lacking most ain't experience.
What?
You just need to change your mindset. On this tree, for example. Well, what do you use it for?
A shelter from the rain or a landmark, maybe?
Right, you could definitely use it like that if you were in town. Except what you're gonna do in the next few days is perform in front of people. Do you think they need shelter or a landmark during your performance?
No.
I'm not criticizing you here, kiddo. Shut up. Who and what do you perform for? That's the key thing here, so keep that in mind. If that doesn't soak in, all you'll be doing for your act is a little magic razzle-dazzle. You can't call that a real performance. Oh, who are you performing for?
The audience?
Well, you ain't wrong, but how do I put it? It's kind of hard to picture somebody you don't know, you get me?
For starters, imagine someone you're actually close with. Who do you want to entertain?
Calivis gave it some thought.
I want to make Father smile.
You mean King Vigonia?
Yeah, I haven't seen him smile in a long time.
I'm pretty sure you had to have been beaming the second you started moving around again and stopped being a vegetable. You didn't see it?
He always looks sad whenever he sees me.
Aww. I'm pretty sure he was happy, like, in that last performance. Were you not paying attention, child?
So it'd be him.
Uh-huh.
Any kid would want to see their parents smile, huh? You're bound by blood. They're an important part of your life.
Merlita's face tightened and he lapsed into thought. What's wrong?
Huh? Oh, nothing. Remember when I told you I used to have a parental figure of my own? I was reminded of him just now.
He pasted on a smile, sealing his blues away. Okay.
Anyway, His Majesty will be checking out the performance through the chalice, right?
Yep. How about we come up with an act that'll make the king smile then?
Sure! Hope we can think of a good one together.
Calivis was brimming with motivation.
Hello?
I forgot Firo's voice, but here he is. Just then, a little critter popped into the tent. Firo's voice was probably Calivis before we met Calivis, so we can't do the same thing. Hey, Firo! It was Firo, a Fey beast, who helped us during our last Kalita show.
Long time no see. I heard you guys are here, so I wanted to come and say hi.
His tiny ears perked up the moment his gaze shifted to Calivis. Perhaps he was surprised. Oh my god, Calivis can have a little best friend! Because Firo's actually a little boy too. Oh! Besties!
Are you a new circus member? Wow, lucky duck! I wanted to perform again, you see, because I had so much fun last time. Oh, I'm not saying I want to join circus, though. Too busy helping out that nice auntie at the diner.
So you're working here now, huh?
Yep. After the last show, the researchers helped me find a suitable job for a Fey beast. I'm officially working at a diner now. Who is he?
That's Firo. He helped us out when we held our show here before.
The name's Firo. What's yours? I'm Calivis.
Oh my god, they're gonna be best friends. It's like, I want a little spin-off game where it's just the two of them running on adventures.
Hi, Calivis. Wait. Why do I feel like I heard that name before? Have we met? No, never. Guess I'm just imagining things then. My bad. Anyway, it's nice to meet you, Calivis.
He's so adorable because he's so stupid and he doesn't realize it's the prince, but it's cute. Firo flashed the prince a winning smile and shook his hand.
Same to you. By the way, are you rehearsing for the show? Mind if I watch?
Be our guest. I'd appreciate it if you could chime in with your thoughts, too. We're trying to come up with Calivis's act.
I'd be glad to if you don't mind.
Thanks, Firo. We'd like to do a show that'll please King Vigonia. He'll be watching remotely.
How about something related to Kalita's history? I think that'd be nice. History, huh?
Firo looked around the stage before his gaze rested on the big tree.
Say, what's with that tree? I grew it with revitalizing earth magic. Wowee, you're a force of nature! Just like Celius, the great spirit of earth!
You think so?
Yep. Allow me to tell you the tale of Celius, founder of this city.
Celius uses revitalizing magic to grow all sorts of plants. I'm not going to read this in his voice. It's going to kill me, okay? Every day without fail, he did his research and breathed life into the soil. One day, Celius grew a really, really big tree. Beautiful flowers in every color and delicious fruits adorned its branches. Humans, Fey beasts, animals, and spirits who saw it naturally gathered beneath the tree. Despite not knowing each other's languages, they all joined hands, singing and making merry. With that, the tree had become an oasis for creatures from all walks of life.
It was then that Celius blessed Fey beasts with human forms and language, since they wanted to communicate with humankind. This big tree reminds me of the one Celius created. I've never heard that story.
Olympus listened with deep interest, his eyes aglitter.
Oh, it has nothing to do with Kalita, though. Maybe you could use a different tale to show. I think that's perfect for a Kalita show. I want to hear the rest of the story.
Arthur learned of Celius's gift to the Fey Beasts, and so he went to the Great Spirit for help. Stubborn Spirit refused, stressing that his own research came first. Yet Arthur was not willing to back down. And so Celius gave him a task, to build a research facility in Kalita. Okay, the fact that, like Firo's telling us the story, and then all of a sudden Rady jumps in, it's like, this is what I was saying! Like, did you know Celius? Were you buddies? Was that your father figure? Serious? Like, I'm really, you know what I mean? Like, Leon's family opened Cheers 500 years ago, and it was his grandfather. I'm just saying, these fuckers live a long time, so. One that could satisfy his thirst for knowledge.
Oh, that research facility must be the Sage Tower.
And see, Firo didn't know this part, but Rady does. I'm just saying, there's something here.
Huh. But didn't Celius make the Sage Tower bigger? At first, Arthur built the tower with... Arthur built the tower with humans and Fey Beasts living in Kalita. Celius wasn't content with the finished building, so he used his own power to complete it. To make a long story short, it's all thanks to the big tree that Fey Beasts can take human form. And that we have the Sage Tower.
Oh, that's perfect for our show. Should we base the act on that story?
I bet it'll be so pretty. I can't wait to see it. Yeah.
Your voices are too similar, I'm sorry.
Well, let's go without then. Everybody here will be happy to see a Celius-inspired show. Oh, right. How about we give the bloom flowers to the spectators as a present? Well, making them bloom with research was good and all. Celius had trouble managing them, you see. So he handed them out to everyone gathered beneath the tree. Or so it goes. Really? I can't say I've heard that before. You sure know a lot about this, Relita. It's as if you heard it from Celius himself.
See what I'm saying? Did I fucking spoil Rady's? Is that really what's happening here? You heard it from him himself, and he's about to be like, what? No, I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. Because doesn't Rady have earth magic? Isn't he an earth magic fae? Because, like, Vilio is fire. Ion doesn't actually have any magic. Technically, Zephora doesn't have magic, but what's it called? I can't remember the city name. But, like, they use wind magic, so with having the locket and everything, or, like, being the Labyrinth Sentinel comes with the ability to use wind magic, even though he doesn't have magic himself. You know what I mean? It's the Sentinel's locket or whatever. And then Vishalia has water magic. So, like, there's the magic represented. And technically, I thought Ginia had wind magic as well. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, this would tie. This would jive.
I heard it from someone else.
And see the way he's looking off? Oh my god. That was his parent figure, wasn't it?
In that case, if we plant some seeds amid the seats as well, not just the stage. Everyone can see the bloom flowers right in front of their eyes if we grow them all at once. I think that'd be fun.
Sure, I like that idea. We'll need a lot of seeds, so we should pick some up after this.
I know a good shop. Please allow me. Thank you, Firo. No problem. I wanted to give back to all of you since you helped me out. I see. Everyone at Circus is wonderful.
Firo then rattled up the story of our last visit to Kalita.
I got close real fast. Let's get ready to go out while they're at it.
Okay, maybe we can clean up first. We can move the equipment there together.
No, I can do it alone. Start listing all the seeds we gotta buy.
Without another word, Relita went to tidy up the space. Guess he still feels awkward being alone with me. It saddened me that my confession had made things awkward between us, so I busied myself tallying up the seeds we'd need. Once we were finished, we all left the tent. Hey guys, all done with practice? Billy and Zephora, who had been practicing outside the tent, came over to chat. Yep, we already decided what to do, so now we're off to buy some supplies.
We're gonna buy flower seeds. I know a good flower shop.
Oh, I didn't know you were here too, Firo. Me and Zephora will tag along. You wrote down all the seeds we need to get right. Hand it over. I did, but I feel like the amounts aren't quite right. Zephora snatched the list out of my hand as when we get close. I'm like, all right, link our arms with Billy and Zephora and go off and make Brady a little jealous. We're going off with our other man harem friends. I remember the stage structure well. It'll be easy for me to make adjustments. Look, he's a fucking math wizard! Put on your glasses while you're looking at my list, you son of a bitch. I really do wish that, like, after we saw the glasses, that there was at least a sprite in that scene that had his glasses on. Even if they never used it again, but... You and really to go check on the Mystic Tools for a show. That's just as important. Huh? But Give me your Spacey. Not knowing what they wanted, I stepped closer. Is Zephora wingmanning us right now? Like, you two go do this! What? But why? Shh! I know you're into him, you idiot. Just fucking do what I say. Been feeling awkward around that furball, right? I can tell just by looking at you. Zephora's wingmanning us! I love this so much! He's such a salty little cracker, and yet he's so soft and squishy. God, I love him. I love you so much, you little bastard. Oh. Crunchy little marshmallow. Say what? We pay attention to stuff like that, you know. Do something about it quick. You've got to try to talk it out with him. I'd confessed to Relita and gotten dumped. Nothing more, nothing less. There was no way I could tell them about that. Okay, I'll try. Thanks for your concern, guys. A bland reply, but it was all I could muster. They look so concerned. Oh, I love it. Good. Let's go, Calivis. You too, Firo.
Go sightseeing while you're at it. Be careful you don't trip and fall when you got your head on a swivel.
Relita's gaze was tender as he saw them off.
Let the king will smile even if Calivis messes up, since he knows the kid's doing his best.
Yeah, I'm sure Calivis's feelings will come through and he'll be delighted with the show.
Alright. The bond between a parent and a child's strong after all. And that's why
Whatever Relita whispered then was stolen away by a moaning gust of wind.
You know that too, don't you? You locked your heart up good and tight when Maria and Rigel passed.
Right, yeah, okay.
You were in shock. You never smiled no matter what I did. I kept thinking to myself that you'd have smiled if only Maria and Rigel were still here. Always wish they'd surprise us by walking in the door out of nowhere. You and I might not have a parent-child bond, but I was always waiting for you to smile.
Like, we might not have a parent-child bond, thank fucking God, because I think... Listen, I could handle the sibling route, half-brother, step-brother. I don't think I could handle, like, a parent. That's getting a little gross. That's a line. Listen, I'll romance my chinchilla dog-turned-hot guy. I'll romance my brother. But I am, and cousin, sure, but my pet, gross. There's lines. Woo! That is so far beyond an appropriate line. Oh, God. I remember you talking about that before our show in Arthur. Back then you tried to make me laugh. Why was that? Do you feel responsible? Were you lonely? Do you feel responsible? Well, like, oh, okay. Do you feel responsible? Obviously, he kind of... We already know that, you know what I mean? Because he already said, like, he did everything he could to try to save them and he couldn't. You know what I mean? So we kind of already know he felt responsible a little bit. But I think the "were you lonely" is actually kind of sweet. Like, we're delving a little bit deeper into his psyche. Like, oh yeah, you felt responsible, huh? It was like, were you lonely? Because if you think about it, he lived with our family and now parents are dead. I'm basically like locked away, no emotion, like So the people that he got used to living with, everybody's gone basically. And it's not like we all died. I'm still here, but like I'm shut off from him, and like that had to feel lonely. So like I like that one as an answer, and I was gonna say I'm sure that's the right one. This is just a guess, but were you lonely? Me? Lonely? If we'd switched places and you were the one suffering, seeing you numb and unable to smile would have made me so lonely and sad. After my parents died, I sealed my emotions away in grief. Brady was left completely alone, unable to even mourn their loss. It must have been crushingly lonely.
Huh. I suppose I was lonely then. Before they died, you were always beaming brightly, so attached to me you dragged me all over to play. You were like an empty shell once they were gone, like your soul up and left your body. I thought you'd never smile again. I wanted to see you smile even just once. I wanted to hear you laugh.
He said it under his breath, gaze warm with affection.
That's why I was trying so hard to make it happen. Before meeting your family, I was flying solo and generally staying out of other people's lives. It was my first time hanging out with people I wanted to meet, and not just people I met by chance.
Yeah, you did say that.
That was the first time I'd stayed in one place for so long ever since I hit the road.
And it was like, it's probably because, again, if we're liking this to, he possibly knew Celius, right? And that was his parent figure. That was ages ago, and he's been floating around, wandering around for so long that all of a sudden then you find a place that you feels like home, and you're with these people, and then they die within like a year, you know, and then you're like, what the fuck? Like, aww. You know what I mean? Because like, if you're like, I mean, I could kind of understand that. I've lived alone for so fucking long. You know what I mean? And I'm used to it. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. Do you get lonely every once in a while and like, you're like, thinking, yeah, sure, but like, you go on with your life because this is my life. I'm used to it. I'm in my comfort zone here, you know? But like, someone else comes into my life and then it's like, you make room for this person and everything's great, and then they're like, yeah, fuck that, and then they leave. Like, then that loneliness sets in, even though, hey, that's what my life was before, but it changed. You know what I mean? So, like, for Rady, he was probably fine, coasting around, doing different things, whatever, got used to that. And then he meets this family that kind of takes him in, he settles down in one place, and it feels comfortable, and he's kind of liking this new style, and then everything gets fucking thrown to shit, you know? Like, that's it would make him feel lonely, you know? Aww. Your sweet little furball. Don't you just want to pet him and snug? Could you turn into your furball form so I can pet you and cuddle you? It's a little weird right now. Because I'm just going to want to kiss you, and that's not going to go well.
I kept trying to come up with ways to bring out that smile of yours. To make you happy. I thought and thought and thought some more. Never racked my brain so hard for somebody in my life.
Oh, Rosita.
Oh yeah, I was real thrilled when you finally smiled. This was my first time feeling that much joy. It surprised me.
His smile was so gentle as he said that, my heart positively soared. And it's like, this is such a sweet and beautiful thing, and it's like, but then you crushed my heart. So, can't help it, Rosita. Love you. My love was unrequited. I can never be with him. Maybe I nurture those feelings in secret. That's a recipe for disaster. We're gonna do it, and it's gonna work out well in this game. But in reality, recipe for disaster.
If only I could have saved your parents. Maybe it wouldn't have closed off your heart.
A curious blend of sadness and regret flickered across his face. He sounded so remorseful. I hastily cut in before he could succumb to those feelings. You're right. I wouldn't have withdrawn if you managed to save my parents. But that's just a what-if scenario, right? You and Spiria have been with me for a whole decade now. I'm really happy you're both part of my family. And also, technically, I've spent more time with you and Spiria than I ever did with my parents, so... So drop the what-ifs. Please. My words fell short of comforting him. He flashed a rueful smile and turned away. That, plus everything he'd said, made me uneasy. Wait, Relita, where are you going? Something told me he was about to go someplace far away, telling me to stop him.
Relax. I've just got some stuff to take care of. I'll be careful and don't get home too late.
Relita walked away after that, definitely hiding something from me. Even though it didn't sit right with me, I let him walk away without giving chase. The more Calivis practiced, the more stable his mana became. Then, at last, it was time for the show. Ooh, we're getting to the show already. We're still only in chapter 6. Don't we have like 3 or 4 chapters in each route? Having changed into his stage outfit, Calivis curled his hands into a ball and fidgeted. Feeling nervous?
Uh-huh. In a good way, though. I'm gonna give it my all so Father, Firo, and all the people of Kalito will smile.
After his little pep talk, he prepared for his act.
I'll do fine. On this show, and in the future.
Relita had a faraway look in his eyes. Huh. You okay, Relita? He looked so ephemeral, like he'd vanish at any moment. Without thinking, I reached out to him.
It's showtime. Let's go.
He slipped through my fingers and trotted up to the stage. What was up with that? Ever since he rejected me, I'd had fewer and fewer chances to speak with him. It was all because I had no clue how deeply I could involve myself with him as family. I didn't know where to draw the line. Despite his strange behavior as of late, I couldn't bring myself to ask what had happened. His family, though. I can at least worry about him, right? I'm gonna try talking to him once the show's over. I put a pin in my complex feelings for now. Our second show in Kalita, the Scholar's City, had begun. Ooh, now we're others. But it never goes to Rady specifically, so... From Relita to Vilio, the performances went off without a hitch. The tent was jam-packed with spectators. Cheers and applause filled the air. Their excitement was palpable. Oh, I'm wondering... Oh, are we Calivis? I was like, who are we? Like, it just says others, so I'm not... Okay, we're probably Calivis.
It all made me so nervous I could hardly move. No, can't stop here. Keep going. Clasped my trembling hands, bracing myself. My turn had finally come. Good evening! Face flushed with embarrassment after I fumbled my greeting. Hung my head trying to hide it. Get a grip, Calivis. You're here to reassure your father. You've got this!
I love his little inner monologue. I love this child so much. I know he's like 17 or 18 in reality, but he's still like a little tiny baby for us right now, and I just love him.
Managed to raise my head with a smile and address the crowd.
If we ever have an adult Calivis, though, and we have to see, and they're making him a hot guy, I don't know how I'm going to handle that. But also, what the fuck voice are we going to give him?
Same one. It's so fucked up.
We'll have to give him a very fancy voice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any other voices. Shit. It always baffles me when we have games where we have a lot more than, like, our 6 love interests max, and it's like, fuck, I gotta have extra, like, there's similar voice, and everything's all fucked up, man. I gotta get a better repertoire of voices. I gotta get more accents or some shit going on in here. Like, why have we never tried to do a proper British accent? It wouldn't be a good one, but it would work. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be just as bad as whatever the fuck the Irish accent is that we got going on. Like, I don't know why we've never done that. You know, it's just because, like, American people trying to do any kind of accent is horrible, and British people doing an American accent is always, like, spot on and perfect, and you have no clue. Like Hugh Laurie in House, and also in Stuart Little. Those were, like, the only things I think I'd ever seen him in. Like, I remember Stuart Little when my nephew was young, and then watching House, and then one day watching, like, an interview about House, and him speaking in a British accent, and I was like, the actual fuck? Like, I had no clue. Because I hadn't seen him in anything else. Like, obviously, like, I knew who he was, but I hadn't seen him in other things, so I was like, you know, I shouldn't be surprised. But then you watch American people trying to do British accents, and you're like, God, that's just so awful. What is wrong with you? That's terrible. You can't do that. But it's so easy for British people to do American accents. It's like, so easy! And then you're like, I don't know how to process this. Anyway.
I managed to raise my head with a smile and address the crowd. Thank you for coming here today. I wish for Kalita to continue to flourish. Let the great tree of origins take root in this land once again. I held my hands high enough for everyone to see, unleashing my earth magic.
Tell me why I just raised my hands like I was miming that as I was reading that line too. Good God.
Here goes!
I do the same thing though, like I hand act. You can't see it because we're never going to do a face cam, to be fair. But like, I do it when I'm Ginny. I have my flippant little hand motions that I do when I do that voice because it just helps me act out the voice better. But literally when he was like, here is the great tree of origins, I'm here raising my hands like I'm raising the tree up. Guys, like, it's almost full body acting. It's arm and... Ridiculous. What's happening?
The ground is shaking. People reacted in a myriad of ways. Some were shocked, some were ecstatic. I want at least to live up to their expectations.
Oh, look at our little chibi-CG of our little baby prince on a beanstalk. How fucking adorable. I love the goddamn chibi-CG too.
A sprout popped out of the ground, growing rapidly. I grabbed on as it surged skyward, climbing up along with it.
Is that a tree? No, a huge leaf? It's growing so fast! You can do that much in a short time?
Their eyes were wide with anticipation as they watched to see what would happen next. Now this! Using the stem of the growing plant as a foothold, I clambered higher and loosened another bout of earth magic. Right then, the seeds we'd planted in the seats sprouted and bloomed one after another.
This is like kind of fucking adorable. Oh shit. My guide. Okay, well anyway.
The floral spectacle made the audience cheer even louder. Next up! Channeling my earth magic, I extended a tree branch toward the audience.
Don't kill them. Don't hurt them. Oh my god.
Toward Firo, that was. Huh? What?
Oh, look, he's in his little boy form.
Firo blinked, astonished. You said you wanted to join the show again, right? Well...
That's so cute. They're besties. Aww.
Standing on the edge of the branch, I held out my hand to the green-haired boy. I'd be more than...
Oh, that's Firo, sorry.
I'd be more than happy to. I didn't know you were a prince, though, I mean, Your Highness. Yeah, sorry, I just couldn't find the right moment to tell you.
This is so fucking... I love their bromance.
I hope we can still be friends.
Oh, our baby found his bestie. That's so cute. That's adorable. They're best friends. I'm just going to imagine they have a romance later.
Absolutely. Firo took my hand and jumped onto the tree. Relita followed behind, performing a cute little dance, almost as if he was there to congratulate us.
I love this. This is so fucking cute. The flowers are very pretty, and watching His Highness hold hands with that fae was like watching a fairy tale in the making. Humans and fae beasts bonded under the tree Celius created, huh?
Thank you for watching. Thank you, one and all. Easing out at the crowd, Firo and I bowed in tandem. Thunderous applause flooded the tent. And with that, my debut show ended on a high note.
Aww, I'm so glad he succeeded. Our son. As Calypus and I guided the spectators out of the tent, we basked in the afterglow of the show. Prince was still in great spirits. We then got in touch with King Vigonia through the relay chalice. He was pleased with his son's performance, declaring it a wonderful show with a big smile on his face. Aww, it's just what our precious baby wanted! Even though the prince's body didn't show any visible growth, we decided to continue the journey. Once our excitement wound down, we started cleaning up the venue. We're only allowed to use the rooftop till the end of the night, so we should wrap this up quick. Oh, did Clivis fall asleep? Clivis glowed when King Vigonia praised him. He'd been so fraught with nerves that it must have whooshed out of him all at once. While he snoozed peacefully, the other circus members and I spoke in hushed voices. And do not wake him. Let him rest as much as he can. Agreed. He worked so hard to pull off his act. Where are we going next, by the way? I have a lot of things in mind if we go to Cultura.
How about we let him decide where he wants to go once he wakes up?
Yeah, plus I'm starving. Let's talk about it while we eat. We discussed our next plan while exchanging some friendly banter. But our high spirits were about to come crashing down. Y'all got a sec. His words would be the end of it all. Oh, I'm leaving circus. What? What do you mean by that? This is hardly the time for jokes. I ain't joking. I'll go on without me. Go on? Without Relita? What? My brain failed to process the words. I was frozen in shock, unable to speak. Thanks for everything. Sorry. Relita turned on his heel and walked right out of the show tent. No explanation, no nothing. Just, okay, bye! Ooh, we're at chapter 7 already! Relita had dropped a huge bomb and left us, apparently for good. His whirlwind departure had our heads spinning. Ginny had jumped in to say he'd fill in the gaps once we got back to the tent. Cleaned up the show tent in a hurry and left the Sage Tower's rooftop to go back to the house tent. We also let Clivis know about Relita's exit when he woke up. Okay, Ginny, spill the beans. Ooh! Aleste is here. By the time we'd returned to our house tent, Aleste was there waiting for us. Welcome back. I'd like to explain the Relita situation. Oh, wait. Did you know he was going to leave circus? I did. Listen, what I'm about to tell you is classified information. Do not disclose this to outsiders. We all nodded. Oh, I love the fact that we're getting the beans spilled. Guys. Okay, we have time to spill the beans. I was like, what time is it? Now that we'd sworn to secrecy, Aleste launched into his explanation. It all started with the flora seeds. The capital's researching how we might mass produce them. I'm sure you're all well aware of how powerful flora can be. They create miracles. Looking at the success of our circus project, we're planning to form similar groups to make even more flora bloom. Should the group succeed, the flower's power will surely be useful for the world's growth. However, we've run into a problem. To make the seeds, we need a huge quantity of earth mana.
And besides the 5 seeds we received, and there are others being made as we speak. Hardly the mass production we hoped for, though.
The project's vital to the future of this country. His Majesty's allowed us to use the Caritas wand, a core item brimming with strong earth magic, to nurture and test the seeds. But... Is there something wrong with the wand? Yes, sire. Researchers at the Sage Tower have conducted a study measuring its power against other core items. Turns out that the wand's only half as much magic as the other artifacts. Why might that be? We don't know. It may have deteriorated over time, but that still doesn't explain why it only affects the wand. Wow. This vital historic truth can make waves throughout the nation. Hearing it for the first time had us stunned. Grady, okay, this is going to tie back in, right? The people in the Sage Tower are still trying to identify the anomaly in the Caritas wand. So now we're dealing with 2 avenues of research, producing seeds and examining the wand. We need an Earth-type Fae-beast with stronger magic than humans to assist us with both. For that, we chose Relita. Why does it have to be him?
Would Relita be able to continue traveling with us if we found a replacement for him?
How about we ask Leon? He seems to have a lot of fey friends.
This is where we get the thing.
We've looked around, but to no avail. Earth-type fey beasts are stubborn, and many of them hate humans. Worse yet, the stronger the fey is, the more enmity they have toward us.
Sure doesn't help when we need ones with potent magic. And the situation seemed to have improved after your first show here. However, rumors of the inhumane experience at Kalita have reached their ears. I highly doubt they'll be willing to help us now. Hence the researcher's suggestion that we ask Relita. During your first show here, they apparently installed a device to measure Faye's power. The device detected powerful earth magic coming from Relita. See, it has something to do. He knows Celius or whatever.
Ever since then, they've been thinking about asking Relita to cooperate with their experiments.
A friendly fey beast with strong earth magic, likely to cooperate with researchers.
I can't think of anyone besides Relita. You were still traveling at the time, but the moment all 5 flora had bloomed and His Highness's heart began to melt, the Kalita's government sent a formal request for his cooperation.
Is this what you had to speak with Relita about back at the palace, then?
Correct. I informed him of the request and asked him to cooperate once he arrived in the city.
I thought back to how Relita behaved on our way to Kalita. Is that why he didn't speak much on the way? Because he was thinking about the request?
He was conflicted about it, you see. He couldn't join us if he decided to cooperate, after all.
Like I said before, I'll only give it a listen, Kay.
When I think about it, he didn't look too enthused when we got here. He said he'd just hear them out. Why did he agree to it, then?
Alright, so now we know why they summoned that furball. What about this lizard, though? Why'd you call him, too?
Oh, dragons are special in many ways. We thought we could learn something about the wand through him.
We actually never planned to ask when we were in Arthir, but the researchers asked that he come along once we arrived. And he did. And did you learn something after seeing the real thing? Nah.
His response was uncharacteristically vague. Is there something you can't tell us?
It's not like that. It's just, I've yet to examine the Caritas wand itself. Are you kidding? You went to the Sage Tower, didn't you? What did you do there? Bird, stop!
Based on what you've told us, Relita left Circus to aid the researchers, right? He was conflicted about whether to accept the request, so why would he agree to it when he hasn't even seen the wand?
Tell you the truth, when we went to the Sage Tower, I know the Caritas wand's one of the core items that's protecting the city. But even if I take a look at the real thing, I doubt I'll find out why it has less magic than the other core items.
Yeah, it's also like they asked Vilio because he's a dragon, but I feel like there's something else here.
I've never heard of something like that anyway. The same goes for you, right, Relita?
Oh, yeah.
I'll still take a look, though. I want to hurry up and finish so I can practice with Calypus. By the way, they'll also pull you aside in Arthur, yeah? What did you guys talk about?
You want me to do something with the wand since I'm an Earth-type fey beast?
Ah, so that's why you were so quiet in the carriage. You don't want to be apart from Spacey.
Well, yeah. Sometimes I do feel like it'd be better if I left. But frankly, I don't wanna.
Of course you don't. You love her!
Vilio just saying it out loud.
It warmed my heart to see how much he cared about Spacey. Led by the researchers, we approached the depths of the Sage Tower.
We've arrived. This is where we keep the Caritas wand.
Finally! Let's take a peek and then go home. What's up, dude? You got a weird look.
Hey, has any other dragon besides me come here?
A dragon? No, never.
The other researchers shook their heads in unison. What's this I'm feeling, then? Oh, over here!
Hey, Vilio!
Relita tried to chase after me, but I couldn't afford to slow down.
You mustn't go in there! That area is of utmost secrecy!
Came from the deepest part of the lab. I wrenched open the door by force and stormed inside. I couldn't believe my eyes. What is this?
No way.
Why are they here?
What did you see?
It's deeply connected to you, Spacey.
Me? Are my fucking parents there? Are my parents there in like some kind of weird tube of liquid or some shit? Something in the depths of the Sage Tower that has to do with me? How can that be?
After witnessing the sight, Relita chose to leave us and help mass produce flora seeds. Spit it out already! Just what did you see at the heart of the Sage Tower? Relina asked me not to speak about it, especially to you.
Vilio shot me an apologetic look. But why?
He probably wants to keep it a secret until everything gets better.
Everything being what exactly? I had no idea what in the world Vilio could have seen, or what Relita was trying to do. Am I a dragon? Because he's like, have other dragons been here? And they're like, what? No. And then he goes running off and finds our parents. Or a dragon killed or like attacked our parents or whatever. And like, that's what he's sensing. And maybe that's going to be the weird thing between Vilio and I. Is like, oh, a dragon is what like hurt my parents. But if our parents aren't dead, or at least they have their bodies for some fucking reason that they're doing research on, like, our parents, I'm just thinking, like, if they're like, oh, they're in a comatose state, but then maybe we can bring them back, how are you gonna tie this into Vilio's route? You know what I mean? Because, like, you know? Huh. Anyway, I had no idea what in the world Vilio could have seen or what Relita was trying to do.
I don't think he's doing the right thing, though.
His somber gaze was locked on me.
You deserve to know about this, Spacey. He doesn't want to hurt you, so he left Circus to settle this stuff all by himself. I seriously doubt that'll solve anything.
Again, he's such a himbo, but yet at the same time, he's got this, like, it's the heart that makes him smart. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what I saw there if you really want to know.
My voice broke as I deliberated whether to press him on it. I collected myself before answering. I do want to know, especially since it has something to do with me, and the man that I love. Relita had hidden many things from me, like his human form and the reason he stayed with me all this time. I know that's because he didn't want to hurt me. That said, I'm not a child anymore. I don't need to be shielded from everything. I might need to be shielded from this. I wanted to know more about him. It didn't matter that he'd already rejected me or where we stood now. I still cared about him a lot.
Yeah, all right.
Vilio's lips curled up into a smile, prompting a heavy sigh from Ginia.
This stuff's also confidential, Kay. Even more so than the flora seed production. I'll handle the fallout if it's leaked.
Fucking tiny genius prince. Huh? All of us whirled to look at Calivis.
Relita taught me a very important lesson on bringing joy to other people. While I may not know all the details, I can't let you two stay separated. Daisy, neither you nor Relita will be happy if things continue like this. He's like, everybody can tell you're in love, you idiots! Nobody wants that, right? That's why I want to help as much as I can.
Thanks, Calivis. In that case, I was eager to continue our discussion right away, but I was quickly interrupted.
All right, that's enough for today.
Ginia clapped his hands.
I'll continue tomorrow at the Sage Tower. Sound good, right, Allie?
Sure, I'll make the arrangements.
Huh? We can just talk it out here, though.
And this is a very important matter. Well, we could certainly just tell you what it is. I think it's better for you to confirm it with your own eyes.
I couldn't argue when he put it that way. I love the fact that the part's going to end and we're all going to have to get cock-blocked and wait for the next part to see what's happening. Whatever it is must be really impactful. With that, our meeting adjourned. Tomorrow we would go to the Sage Tower and learn the highly guarded secret.
That it's our parents! In tanks!
It has to be! What else would be important to me that Rady would leave us to protect me from? It's my fucking parents' bodies. And I don't know if they're like in stasis or something. If they're like, well, we're just experimenting on them. They're not really dead, but they're also dead. And like, maybe they can't be brought back in like Rady's route, but in Vilio's route we do bring them back or something, you know what I mean? But like, because I can't imagine you'd be in Rady's route, there's my parents, we bring them back. Woohoo! Look at that, we saved my parents! And then in Vilio's route, my parents are dead again. You know what I mean? Like, that just seems weird, right? But anyway, we'll find out next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.